Three, two, one. If you're watching a podcast about movies that are crap, that's Nefarious Reels. If the movie that they show has a really awful score, that's Nefarious Reels. If they watch Uwe Boll and also David Ducato, that's Nefarious Reels. Nefarious Reels. Hey everyone, we're Nefarious
God
Reels.
damn it.
I'm your host, Whitey.
And I'm Davy Stone still. Sorry, I'm Davy Stone still.
And welcome to Nefarious Reels, where we talk about bad movies. But we don't normally sing, so, enjoy it while it happened.
Singing is for special occasions.
Yeah,
Like, you have to recommend it.
exactly. I
Yeah.
was actually pretty proud of that one. That's been, stewing in the back of my head for, a week. But I was finally able to put it on paper and, write something down.
Good.
But anyway, let's just jump right in. I had the retro pick, and I recommended Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, which,
This is this is the second final Friday they've had in the franchise, because part 4 was also the final one until it made money.
that's true. In fact, technically, this one was just a setup for Freddy vs. Jason, so this was already not going to be the
Yeah.
Final Friday. But Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday is about Jason Voorhees. He's dead. He gets blasted into oblivion. He gets,
It's
tactical.
blasted.
He gets tactical strike on him, and he blows up and dies. But his heart still beats, and he gets eaten, and he possesses a guy, and he's possessing people, and he's trying to murder any Voorhees because they're the only people that can kill him and also can reborn him. And that's pretty much that's the movie. Cole, what do you think of Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday?
Honestly, I thought it was really, really fucking stupid. It was just, the story was just so, I don't even want to say bizarre.
Over the
I
top?
just think, yeah, like over the top and just so dumb with how they set up the rules and all that. And it was just like, I felt like they kept making shit up as long as they made it. And then you were just kind of sitting there, and I was just kind of sitting there going, what is going on?
Yeah. Now,
And no, like, official Jason too wasn't fun either.
no. Now, don't take this with a bit of a grain of salt because I haven't seen every Friday the 13th, at least before this. But
Neither have
all
I.
the Friday the 13th that I've seen usually are just pretty simple of, oh, they go to the camp and Jason's there and they are killing them. And that's usually the formula. This one's super, super complicated. There's lore.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden out of nowhere, it's just not just the simple, oh, Jason was, he drowned at the lake. Now it's just oh, he's like a worm monster and he's pure evil, and the only way you can kill him is with this special knife, and you got to be a Voorhees to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's gore and there's murder, because that's kind of what I wanted out of it, which
Well, yeah, the
there
gore
was.
and murder is like what you're there for in a Friday the 13th.
I will
But
admit I am a bit peeved because unfortunately I don't have my Blu-ray with me of this film, which had the unrated version on it, so I don't think I ended up watching that one.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
I know the one I watched was the R-rated cut, because I know there was a certain scene as later on that was like in the tent when he stabs that one girl through the chest, and I know there was an extended cut of that, or like an extended part of that scene, but in the R-rated one it just kind of cuts.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
you don't see the stabbing and then just him pulling up the rod or whatever he was using.
oh, that wasn't in your version?
Nope.
It was the one I watched. Where did you watch this movie?
Oh, and a tortilla.
Oh, you mean you watched it while eating a tortilla?
Yeah. I was eating a nice quesadilla.
Yeah, I rented it on Amazon, and they have the scene where she gets completely ripped in half. It was a very cool and iconic scene.
Mm-hmm.
You missed out, man. I'm sorry. That
I
goes to
know.
show you that
Because I
maybe
know I've
if you
seen
weren't
that on
eating
the.
a tortilla, you might have had
Yeah, I
time to see
know.
it.
I'm disappointed in myself too.
That maybe you'll get him next time.
Yeah.
I hate that Jason makes noise. That really
I hate
irked
that,
me.
like,
It's such an oddly
Jason's
specific
barely in
thing.
it.
I mean, yeah, that's also annoying too. I hate that he grunts. Like he's like, like even when he's like shot,
Oh
and that's
yeah.
like that gets on my nerves. It's like a dumb thing, but like Jason's just
Yeah, I can
established
see
as
that.
this
That
like
gets annoying.
silent kill guy, and then you just have him grunting and getting shot and making noises when he gets like impacted.
Hmm.
And I will say it is a shame that Jason's barely in it because it's actually a pretty nicely designed Jason, in my humble opinion.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I got
honestly
like
have to watch all the other ones because the only other ones of the franchise that I've seen are the original first one, and I think it was Freddy versus Jason, and that's it.
yeah, I just like how dirty and disgusting he looks and like how like destroyed his mask is at that point. Like clearly like the age is like there of how long it's like been on him and everything.
Yeah, that that definitely works, but again, they don't utilize it. It's only there for like 5 to 7 minutes, I think it is.
Yeah, he's
Like
just
he's not on screen for that long. It's honestly crazy.
yeah, he's just there for like a little bit at the beginning and then a little bit at the end, and that's
Yep.
really it. Another thing weird
Yeah.
because like there's always the big joke that oh Jason is a worm in this movie, but the worm's also barely in it.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like at
like
the
a
very
scene or two
end.
of the worm, and yeah, the worm was just even. I think at that point I kind of exclaimed myself when I saw the worm pop on screen. Like I was like, "What the fuck?" Because I didn't know what to say after that.
Like I feel like the worm is only there so they can have the shot of it going up the skirt of the dead Voorhees woman, like near the
Yeah,
end of the movie.
because we need to keep sexualizing women and all that.
Now I have a theory, and I mentioned it in my review, but this movie really is just fan fiction. Like think about it. You have like the director's self-insert character, which is like the nerdy guy, which we
Mm-hmm.
can talk about later. But then you have like the version of himself that he wants to be, which is it was like what it was like Constance like Dixie.
Mm-hmm.
I think no Creighton Duke. I'm way off on my naming. But that's who he like imagines like, oh, I'm gonna be the badass that takes out Jason. You have the complete random lore jump of like, oh, the like
Yep.
unnecessary lore dump of like, oh yeah, and the only way to like to kill Jason is like with like a magical dagger, and you have to be like a relative, and that's like so
Yeah,
cool.
you gotta have his blood in you to kill him
You have like
because that's what the rules say.
you have a really stupid like opening twist to like there's like how do I hook people into my fanfiction? I know I'll kill Jason at the very beginning and everyone thinks he's dead, but really he's just possessing people. Oh yeah, that's so cool.
Oh, that's so cool. So cool, so edgy. Because, he gets blasted 5 minutes in.
Pow pow. I do
And
think
even that scene at the beginning was just kind of like, for like a couple minutes, I was like, okay, where are we going with this? Why is she back at the camp? And then you find out, oh, she's just an agent that was trying to lure Jason back. And then, you know, the cops could use their pieces on him and start blasting
pow
everywhere.
pow.
Pow,
I don't know. I
pow.
thought that scene was funny. I probably would have enjoyed it more if Jason did not make noises in it. That kept throwing me off. But the idea that all of them just are just showing up and just gunning them
Hmm.
down, and just shooting them endlessly, and then they just call in a tactical airstrike down on them.
Yeah, they called the tactical nuke.
Yeah, one of them got a 25 kill streak, so they were able to call one in. But yeah, Jason gets killed. He gets sent to the coroner's office, and then the coroner's just like, damn, this heart's looking pretty tasty. And then he goes, nyam, and he's like, ah, man, now I'm Jason, I guess. And then he just starts murdering people.
Yeah.
I guess we should talk about the main characters we have. There's like three arguably, but more like two. You have super cool Creighton Duke, the bounty hunter guy who's just
This, yeah, like cowboy outlaw guy.
he's just like, what do I think of Jason Voorhees? I think of a girl in a little pink dress. Because Jason's a wussy and I'm way too cool for him.
And I'm a Giga Chad.
I get all the babes, and I'm going back to Crystal Lake or the town near Crystal Lake because Jason isn't really dead because he's too much of
Because,
a loser to
yeah,
die.
he's a pussy. And fuck him.
Then we have Nerdy Guy who's like in love with a Voorhees and that whole thing's complicated. Basically, there's like a Voorhees, and then the Voorhees mom has a daughter, and that daughter has a baby daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason pretty much shows up to kill the mother, or at least to try to get reborn through her, but she ends up getting killed. And then the nerd guy shows up and tries to save her, but Jason gets away, and since there's no body,
Yep.
they think that he's the killer. He killed the mother. So the daughter thinks that he killed, and blah 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 blah. Pretty much, he's in jail now, which is also where Duke is because he like beat the crap out of an officer or something, or no, he gives sass to an officer.
Oh, right.
Do you think
Kind of
there's
forgot
like
about that part.
deeper commentary on that, or do you think that was like coincidental that he gets arrested by giving sass to the officer and that Duke is black?
I don't, honestly, for what was that, 93 it came out?
Yeah.
They might have tried that, but it didn't. I'm trying to think of what happened in the 90s, if there was anything about like police brutality at that point.
Did
Was that the Rodney Hood riots?
Rodney King?
Rodney King,
Maybe.
yes.
I have no
I
idea.
think it was.
It happened in California. I should know.
You fake
I'm a fake Californian.
Californian.
Here, I'll look it up for us.
Yeah, I was about to look it up too. Rodney.
1992.
Oh shit. I guess they could have made that as commentary then, maybe. I mean, I don't know if that was what they were going for, but that could have been. I don't know.
I doubt it. Considering everything else that happened in the movie, I honestly doubt it.
Probably not,
I will
though.
say this. I do think this film has one genuine good scene, and it's the one between Duke and the self-insert, where
Mm-hmm.
basically he's giving the information to the self-insert by breaking his finger. And self-insert's very hesitant, but keeps doing it anyway because he wants to know what's going on. And then when he asks, "How do you defeat Jason?" and Duke's like, "Oh, that's gonna be like a ton. That's worth a ton." And he puts his hand in confidently, and then Duke is just like, "You know what? It's on the house," as like a show of respect. And I was like, "Damn, that's like a really good scene. Shame it's in this movie." I don't know. Kill wise,
Okay.
it's not that amazing. Like
Yeah, it's not too much going on.
like
Like,
I
there's things going on, but it's just like not that amusing. There's
is
nothing too innovative
but
for most of them, I should say. Not all of them.
yeah, I think the problem is I think a good chunk of them are kind of like pretty weak. Like, and some of them are even off screen. Like those two like soldiers that are guarding the morgue when they're like, "Oh yeah, Jason like sucks and he's like a total loser," and then he just kills them off screen. We just see it in like a news report, and it's like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
that could have been fun to see him beat the crap out of those two guys. But no, we don't get that. There's the tent one, but you didn't get to see it, unfortunately, which was the coolest
Apparently,
death.
because in the one I watched, yeah, it didn't have it. But I know on like the dead meat one, I think he shows it.
I
So maybe I gotta go on
clearly
that one.
you should have gotten a better tortilla to eat.
Yeah, I should have.
Another actually really cool death, which isn't really a Jason kill death, but it's the one with after Jason leaves one body and possesses another, and that guy just like melts. And you
Oh,
have that whole
right.
scene, and I don't know how much you got to see of it because your version was the R version, but there's like a scene where as like he's like this goop guy, and as he's like getting up from he felt like he was on the floor, he was getting up, and his like lower jaw just completely disconnects and it's just stuck on the
I think
floor
I've
as
never
he's getting
seen
up.
that part though.
Yeah, that was good. Ooh, so good. But after Jason kills, but now Jason has to go after the daughter. And first he possesses like the newscaster guy who turns out to be a dick
Mm-hmm.
because, we need the self-insert and the dream girl, the director dream girl to pretty much get together. So we need the news guy to be a dick. And then so that way we can kill him off when he gets possessed by Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, and no, oh, and then they go to the diner and he kills all the annoying side characters that we don't really like. So that was fun.
It just wasn't ever interesting in any other way. It was just like, stuff happens. They make up stuff about how Jason gets Well, it was also kind of funny when Jason possesses the guy to eat his heart.
Yeah.
It looked because like the morgue guy's just kind of going, "Ooh, it's a heart. What do I
Mm-hmm.
do here?" And then I, eat it.
He goes nom nom
And
nom nom, and then he gets blasted by like Jason balls of light, like pow pow pew 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 pew.
yeah, it
Pew.
was very interesting.
A bit of a shame that oh yeah, I forgot that the Necronomicon shows up for like for like a couple seconds, which is like weird.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, "What the fuck? Why is the Necronomicon in here? Is the Evil Dead part of the universe now?"
I just imagine Jason picking up the book and looking, and he's like, "Damn, if only I knew how to read." There
Or
was
you just see like Bruce Campbell come out of nowhere, just going like, "Hey, where the fuck am
Well,
I?"
I mean, technically, there was a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash comic,
There was, yeah.
but when did that come out?
That was like 2007 though.
Maybe they were
So I
trying to
think
get.
they were trying to get like yeah, like the touching stones to it.
Maybe originally this was supposed to be like a lead up to like a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash movie, but then they
Mm.
couldn't get
Yeah,
Evil
that
Dead
could
rights,
be.
so they had to only stick with Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that could be it.
But it was pretty weak how they get the magic knife. And it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it can just be any knife. Just Voorhees has to hold on to it when I guess like the Jason is in vicinity, and then just
Yeah,
becomes the evil knife. Like, come on, do better.
like come on, just have anyone kill him.
Why not
Like
just
it's just
have Duke already have the knife if
I
he's the
know it
Jason
felt like
expert?
he was only there just to be like, I'm gonna go kill Jason. But no, I'm just gonna explain to this guy and lady that, hey, she's got that Voorhees blood in her, so I gotta tell her she has to kill Jason because, the rules say so.
You know, they should have ratchet up the crazy and have like Duke like try to marry the daughter, like marry into the family so he can do it because he wants to be like the
I
hero.
see.
Just like really like
Yeah,
ramp it up.
man, he should have Man, he should really thought of that. I guess that wasn't an idea.
If he was smart, he could have had had like a
He could
quick.
have, yeah, could have gone to City Hall and get that marriage license quickly.
See, that would have been like a funny ending. Like if I was doing like a parody of like Friday the 13th of like a parody of this movie, that's what I would have. I'd be having Duke like, guess what? Marriage license, motherfucker. I'm a Voorhees now. I took the name, and then the knife turns into, or another funny bit would be like every knife he grabs turns into like the dagger. So
Mm-hmm.
like Jason's like knocking it out of his hand, and he picks up like a butter knife, and then it transforms into it. Or there's like a scene where like Jason has the machete, and then Duke like grabs onto it. They're both holding onto it, and then he keeps transforming back and forth into like the dagger to the machete.
Yeah, that was
That would have been like really cool.
that would have been fun. That would have
That would have
been
been
more
like
fun.
stupid, but that would have been like a
It
good
would have
stupid.
been kind of I would have given it a little more credit though. It would have been at least more creative.
What can I say? We're gonna have to do the Jason Goes to Hell remake, I guess.
Yep.
Throw that one on the pile. This
On the
movie
pile of
pile.
like 10 movies other we gotta make.
We gotta make a list. Hold on, I'm gonna start it right now. So let's see.
We
We
got the
Kissing Booth
um
4.
Missing Booth 4, the Tusk trilogy
Yeah.
with Jules as our Wallace.
Let's see. We got Tusk 2, Tusk 3, and then I think Tusk Goes to Hollywood. I believe was the fourth one.
Yeah.
What else we got? Okay, let me put in
Oh
the
fuck.
Jason Goes to Hell. The
Remake.
Final Friday remake. Were we gonna do the Lamageddon sequel too?
Oh shit. I totally forgot.
I think we are. I think we're. I'm gonna put it on, but we can change it like later. We'll check later.
Yeah, we'll have to check.
Every David Ducado movie. I know we promised that. Like we would have like financed it anyway. So I'm gonna count it.
Mm.
That's what I got. I think there's probably more.
Yeah, but I just can't think of what they were again.
Hold on. Maybe if I just look over the official Nefarious Real recommendations, we can get some remember.
Yeah, that's
Did we pitch a Blood Rain sequel? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. No.
What about a Color and Night sequel? Did we do that?
Color of Night? No, I don't remember that.
Oh wait. What about Wicked World 2? Wicked World.
I think we did do I think we were talking about Wicked World.
Yeah, I think we did. We are gonna do Wicked World 2, Wicked World. We definitely were just like we're gonna have to finance Barry J. Gillis's next movie, and it's gonna be Wicked World 2, Wicked World, because that's
Yep.
too good of a name to like pass up.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably like another one. Did we talk about doing Howard the Duck too?
Howard? I don't remember. I do not remember Howard.
Yeah, I don't either. I think that might be it. At least that I can remember. We got like a lot of movies we have to make, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh wait, did we? I think did we talk about doing a Garbage Pail Kids 2 movie?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, that might just be. I might just be misremembering. I think that might be everything. If we said any other movies, please let us know so we can put it on the list. And oh wait, I remember now. Kangaroo Jack 2.
Oh
We were gonna do
yeah.
Kangaroo Jack 2, or technically it would be 3. No. We won't. We'll continue the animated movie non-canon. Okay, I got all our movies listed. But enough about our soon to be successful movie making careers. We gotta talk about Freddy goes not to hell because he's already there. We're talking about Jason goes to hell the final Friday.
Yeah. Jason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Freddy shits
Jason goes to
Jason.
hell.
I don't know. It's been hard to say. I kind of got what I wanted out of it, I guess. Even if it wasn't as good, it was dumb, kill, murder, but even though there's not a lot of Jason, I don't think that's too big of a detriment, at least to me. I wish
Mm-hmm.
there was more worm, because that's like the reputation it has. Jason's a worm. There should have been more worm in the movie.
More Worm, more Jason.
We need an equal worm to Jason ratio in this movie.
Yeah, but we didn't get that because the movie lied to us.
Jason doesn't really go to hell either. He kind of just gets dragged into the
No.
dirt.
Yeah, he just kind of is in the dirt. You never could just see him in hell, which sucks.
He didn't actually get dragged to hell. Like literally, if you scrape like the little bit of dirt, he's just like right there, just under the dirt ground a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
like a couple inches. And you go, oh look, there he is.
Yeah, they're stupid.
What did you think of the ending with the Freddy glove pulling the mask into the dirt?
I had a very soy boy moment. I was like, oh, Freddy versus Jason.
You
Let's
clapped.
go.
You clapped. You were so excited.
Yep, I was very excited for them to make that in a decade as that movie came out.
Well, but of course, naturally, they had to make Jason X first before then.
Yep, they had to make Jason X
To
first.
keep the rights. Lucky bastards, because they didn't, we would have taken it and we would have made
Which they
that
made
remake.
like I think it was like 9 years after this came out.
I do think it was like a rights thing. Like you have to make a prop movie after so many years to keep the property, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of want to watch Jason X. It looks like the dumbest thing like ever made, and I really want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason X,
Yeah.
the one where he's in space. Yeah. What else is there to say about Jason Hell guy?
He goes to hell.
Allegedly. A real big spoiler when you think about it. Your title of the movie is literally Jason Goes to Hell. I mean, I feel like it's a bit of a spoiler of what's to happen. That's like if like in the first Friday in the no, in the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie they put Freddy is a car and he pulls a woman through a window and they go, I wonder what this film's gonna be about.
And then Freddy says, "Ka-chow."
Yeah, Freddy does say "ka-chow" in the movie.
He
His
does.
iconic catchphrase, "Welcome to prime time, ka-chow."
Yeah, honestly, that ending to Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street kind of almost ruins the movie for me.
It looks really bad.
It's I wouldn't say it ruins the movie actually. It's just very dumb.
It looks very dumb. Like
It's super stupid because you can totally tell that was a mannequin that was in the
that gets pulled through the
going through the
window.
door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But what do you have anything else to add about Jason Goes to Hell, the final
Um,
Friday, but not really?
no, really, other than just, yeah, it's just kind of super dumb, and that's about it.
I would complain that this film happens over the course of a couple days, therefore it's not on a Friday. But I think they did that on in six as well, so it's just like it's already been established that more than one day can pass in a Friday the 13th movie. I can't
Mm-hmm.
blame them. I can't get mad. The rule was already broken. Who am I to complain about someone doing it again?
Yeah, very true.
I don't know. We You got nothing left to say about the movie, the Jason movie.
Yeah, the Jason movie.
Yeah, I don't think I've sung its praises, like the gore of the melty guy, and Duke's fun. He's like the funniest character, clearly. Like he's not the most normal, but he's like the most eccentric, and that makes him fun. Oh, and I like the part where she like roundhouse kicks the knife into like Jason and he dies.
Oh yeah, that was at
Like
least
like she sticks the
something
knife
funny.
into him and but it's not enough, so she just outright like kicks it into him to
Yeah.
destroy him. I mean, can we say it? Hashtag girl boss, am I right?
Major girl boss.
Yeah, Jason's defeated and they live happily ever after. The end.
Yippee.
I guess with that being done, we'll move on to the next movie, which was yours, Cole.
Woo! Yeah, and my recommendation was the sequel to the masterpiece that is Samurai Cop 2 Deadly Vengeance, which is a movie that takes place during actually after you oh hang on. Oh. Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
it
now you're
takes
making
place
me
after
tired. Ugh.
yeah, it takes place after the events of the first Samurai Cop, 25 years after specifically. And Joe Marshall's, I don't, fiance, wife at the time,
It was
Jennifer,
his
was killed.
wife.
It was his
I'm
wife?
pretty sure they
Okay.
said it was his wife.
Okay.
He was like,
But yeah,
my
she gets killed,
wife.
and he just kind of, I don't know, goes into hiding. And
He becomes an ooh sad boy.
yeah, he becomes a I'm depressed because my girlfriend died and there's nothing to live for anymore. So what's the purpose? So yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, live in this abandoned
Warehouse.
building warehouse and, learn the ways of the samurai and actually speak Japanese in this one. But yeah, Frank, his partner in the first movie, teams up with him again as they try to solve these series of assassinations that happen throughout. And that's, I guess you could say, basically the premise. I mean, there's more gangs other than the Katana gang. Oh, God.
There's like the
It's like
Katuna.
the Shinjuku and the, yeah, whatever you just said.
There's like the Katona. There's like a
Yeah,
similar sounding
Katana.
one. There's like
Yeah,
Katana and there was like Katona. There was like a
yeah,
very similar
yeah,
sounding
there was
one.
like a Katana. Yeah, you like Katana, and the Shinjuku, all within this LA area. And yeah, so what did you think about this one?
I thought it was really confusing. Like, I don't know why. I couldn't like follow along with what was happening at all. Like, I watched the first Samurai Cop and I understand how everything was like flowing together. Like, I understand why everything was going through. Also, Samurai Cop, same director as Hollywood Cop.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a little throwback for everybody who didn't know.
Yep.
But the second film is not directed by the guy who made Samurai Cop, which is probably its first problem because there's no charm that the first film had that carried over into like the second one.
Well, the guy that directed the first Samurai Cop died in 2006, so
Well, then bring him back to life.
they
Come
didn't
on.
have the technology for that yet in
They
2006.
didn't need the technology. Jason didn't need the technology to come back. They just need someone to eat his heart. And
That's
then they would have had
true.
the director. Just as long as they don't have like Duke come by with like the ceremonial daggers, like I'm gonna kill you so you can't make
All
Samurai Cop
right,
2.
you got me.
But yeah, there's like no this one falls into the, oh, we're gonna make like a bad movie and like we're aware that it's bad,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like really awful. Like even like good ones that do that are like never really like genuinely good compared to like other movies. Like, we both love Thanksgiving, and you love Lamageddon more than I do, but
Yep.
still, like stuff like that kind of works because it's yeah, it's aware that it's like it's bad, but they're like still kind of doing like an original idea. So like yeah, it's like a dumb comedy, and it also kind of does fall into like the restraint of like they have like what like $200, like $1,000. They don't have like a lot of money anyway, and they have a really goofy idea, and that's what they're going for. But like this film, I bet probably had a decent amount of money behind it, and clearly they're trying to base this off of, oh, look at us, this is a sequel. Hey, look, we got some of the original characters from the first movie in this thing, and it's like really off-putting because they're really old, and it's just like, ooh,
Yeah. When I was watching this with Matthias, we were both kind of saying how this movie kind of did that um fan service thing and nostalgia baiting member berry thing, like even before The Force Awakens came out and the Marvel movies and all those that did that later on, and you just go like, dude, it's that guy. Dude, it's Fujiyama. Sorry, Fujiyama.
I only,
Dude, it's the blonde chick
I
that
only,
Samurai Cop fucked.
the only person that I did that for was the waiter guy from the first movie, and when he showed
That
up,
the
I was
waiter
like,
guy.
yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised because I wasn't because he was like such a minor little joke character that when he came back, I was just like, oh, it's him, nice. That was the only character I was kind of like
Yeah,
excited
and they
for.
give him more character that he got like arrested for being like an arms dealer.
Yeah, he for like weapons smuggling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for like
And you
arms
were just
dealing,
like,
and he was like on an
that guy?
airplane. And then he's like on an airplane that gets attacked, and then he's just a taxi driver at like the end credits scene.
Uh-huh.
He's like he was a highlight. Him and Tommy Wiseau. I think Tommy was like the best part of the whole movie for me.
Tommy. Okay.
Tommy Wiseau, yeah, yeah, that's right. I say that. I'm not afraid to say that. I don't know. The problem is it's really annoying since they're really tongue in cheek with it. Like when
Okay.
uh I forgot his fucking name. God damn it. What is it like the black guy? What was his name? It was like
Frank.
yeah, Frank. Because in the original movie, Frank would like do a face of the camera, and he's like doing that like naturally. But this one, they're just
Yeah.
like they clearly were going like, okay, and then when this happens, you need to make like a face like to the camera because that's what
Yeah.
you're known for. And then they'll have like a little sound effect sometimes when it goes like ding.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh come on.
Yeah, they were like way too in on the joke, which also is like what did not work. Like the director of this one was just kind of like, you know how the first Samurai Cop was like kind of so bad it's good that it was that so many people laughed at the unintentional humor.
Yeah.
Let's make it as unintentional as possible, but make it super unfunny at the same time.
Yeah, in the first film, the director was trying to make a cop movie, and
Yeah,
in
he was
this
trying to make
one,
a buddy cop movie, kind of like Beverly Hills Cop, a Lethal Weapon,
and in this
48 Hours, I guess you could say.
And the sequel, the director clearly wants to make a comedy based off like the buddy cop thing, and you can't do that. Or I mean, you can do that, but it's like I guess it's like he wants to make a comedy because of the unintentionalness of the original, and you just can't do that. You can't
Yeah.
just go, "Oh, we have this funny property. Let's make another film that's funny too." Like they should have tried making another buddy cop movie again or something. Why have pretty much the same clan again and then have them come back? Why not have like a whole new clan or whole new thing? I think I heard originally, I could be wrong here. Heard in an interview that apparently originally this was just going to be a film with like Frank because
Hmm.
Joe Marshall, they thought the original Samurai Cop was like dead, but he made like a video saying that, hey, everyone, I'm alive. So they pulled him in for like the movie, I believe.
Wow.
I could be wrong, but I think that's the story. And you know what? Maybe if he didn't come back for the movie, maybe it could have been better. Because I think the idea of this was because the first film was really mainly was Joe Marshall.
Hmm.
Maybe if they did just stick with having like Frank being the main character, maybe it could have been like more interesting. Because no offense to the actor of Joe Marshall,
Joe.
but he's kind of the weakest link in the thing. Like I don't think I laughed like once at like anything when they were like making jokes or something. I don't know. I
I don't
don't
even think I think I might have left like once or twice, but I don't know really any at this point. I don't really remember.
like I said. If you want, I can discuss. The only time I ever laughed in the film was when Tommy Wiseau just started screaming about his dead dad and started destroying the room. Which I mean, yeah,
Oh
clearly you
yeah.
can say, oh, that's just them telling him, hey, destroy this room because that's what you did in the room. But like he's giving it his all. Like Tommy, so he went like all out in it, and I appreciate that because I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like everyone else is kind of phone. There's like a mix to either that they're phoning it in or they're trying to be like funny, and I don't think it really works like either way.
Yeah.
Like I
I
think
guess it depends.
like Tommy was so at the very least, I felt like he did like give it his all when they're just like, oh, it's like go crazy and destroy the room because your father's dead and you're like grief stricken, and he's just like no, and he's just kicks over the table and he's picking stuff up and he's throwing it around, and he just collapses in like despair.
Yeah, I don't know. Tommy just didn't work in this one for me.
Well,
Maybe it was
maybe
just because it was too much like the room, but it was just kind of too much sometimes when he was doing the same thing as. I was just like, I don't even see them as a new character. I was just kind of seeing him as just, it's just Johnny from the room. It's just the same thing.
maybe this is a reincarnation of Johnny. Like he gets reincarnated into like this body as like the head of the clan. But when thinking it over, uh, Tommy Wiseau did get to make out with a woman at the end of the movie, so maybe that's why he went all out because he knew he'd get a girl.
Mm, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, that reminded me. I wrote down notes on recurring Nefarious Reels members on these movies, and the main girl was Caden Cross, who was in Veronica.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she was that one girl that was trying to seduce Joe as no, not Muriel. I wrote the name down somewhere, but you know what I mean. She was like part of that like plan to like seduce Joe or something, so
Yeah,
something could happen, but you were kind of unsure with what was going on.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you had the one Asian lady, Bei Ling, who was in Southland Tales,
Yeah,
our
I saw
one of our
that.
first ones.
Yeah, I remember
And
checking her out. Yeah, and I saw that.
yep,
I was like, oh, I remember Southland Tales. I hate it,
Richard.
Richard. I still hate the movie Richard.
Yeah, and then we get Joe Estevez as the police captain.
Hey, Joe Estevez, nice. That's
Yeah. Who
J-
was not as good of an angry police captain, really.
yeah,
And it was very shameful.
yeah. Unfortunately, but well, what can you do? I mean, he was no roller gator,
Yeah, he was no roller gator,
but
but
really, how can you top such a role? Honestly,
mm-hmm,
well, I don't know. I mean, he's probably better in one of the David DeCata movies that he starred
probably.
in. One of the multiple
And I
David
mean,
DeCata
he
movies he was
wasn't
in.
gonna be as good as that angry police captain was saying stuff like, feels like someone stuck a big old club up my ass and it hurts. You need to figure a way to get out of there.
Also, fun fact: the waiter guy that like talks to Joe
Yep.
Marshall. He was the host of the reality show, the Joe Schmo Show.
What?
I'll just give you a basic sample. The Joe Schmo Show is a fake reality show where they try to
Okay.
cast like the most normal, average white guy, and they get a bunch of actors to play like over the top characters to like just mess with this guy.
Huh. Interesting.
And there's like actual like genuine like real actors. Like there's a Cricket from Always Sunny. He's in it, and you have
Oh, Rickety Cricket.
yeah, Rickety Cricket,
Yeah.
and I can't remember like the other one. There was like another really big actor that was on the on, I think it was like it's in the back of my head. I keep thinking Kristen Stewart, and I know it's not Kristen Stewart. She's on SNL.
That narrows it. That does not narrow it down that much.
Female person on SNL. Hold on, I'm looking this up because it's gonna really
Yeah, you're
bother
gonna have to
me.
look this up because that.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Oh, here, yeah, Christian Wig.
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen
Okay.
Wiig. That's who it was. It's actually a pretty interesting show. It's not like
Hmm.
amazing. It's like a 6 out of 10, but it's like it's neat enough that I'd recommend it. What
Okay.
were we talking about?
Interesting.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the different like people that were in the movie.
Yeah,
I know it's like
we
a
were
big
talking about our
convoluted mess.
favorite
Like if this was just
Nefarious Reels.
yeah, hashtag iconic nefarious reels member berries.
Yep.
But it's really like weirdly complicated because if this was just a story of like
Mm-hmm.
Joe Marshall trying to find his wife's killer, but it's like we need to investigate this thing and we gotta go here and we gotta go here. Now we need to have a scene with like the bad guys that are talking about stuff, and then like apparently this guy's assassinated and he was like Tommy Wiseau's father, and now Tommy Wiseau is like inheriting it. But there's like other
Mm-hmm.
clans. Like in the first film, it was just the one clan we were dealing with, and while there were other clans involved, they were just like, oh, we're like it was just the one main clan that we were worried about. But now there's like all these like other clans that are like actively taking part of things. And it's like it's so complicated. I got like lost. Like I looked away for a couple minutes because like I got messaged something, and I looked back up, and then I felt like so lost, like with the whole plot and everything.
Yeah, it gets like way more complicated in the plot, and then it really just emphasizes the porn aspects from Samurai Cop.
Yeah, I don't want to hear like any more sass from you about recommending like these like David Ocado skin flicks anymore because you made me watch Samurai Cop 2,
Well, I
which had
don't
way
mind the
more of
skin
it.
flicks. It was just Deathstalker.
Yeah, but it's like really, this is gonna change, but like the sex scenes in like Samurai Cop at least like made narrative sense because Joe Marshall would hit on the female before they did it, and in this movie it just like happens. Like I'll just cut to a scene with
Yeah.
like either Frank or Joe Marshall like in bed with a woman. And it's just like, wait, when did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Even like that like random ass scene in Hollywood Cop where the black guy just wrestles the ladies in the oil to grab their thongs. At least that's like properly set up beforehand. It's not like, oh, all of a sudden I'm in a pit with a bunch of ladies stealing their thongs. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I guess. Definitely.
Also, a really weird thing is that it's like futuristic, despite it being 1991, which is like really weird. Like you have like the weird like futuristic look, and they got like the floating ball
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like, why don't you just say it's like the year 2025 or something? Like,
I don't know.
like when was it this made in like 20 like 15 or something?
It was made in 2015, yeah.
Oh, sweet, I called it. But yeah, they could have just been like, oh, it's the year 2025 and just do something with that. Why you make it 1991 where we're like fully aware, especially since they don't really lean into it as much. Like why have this futuristic like kind of look with some areas and have this ball thing and have this future look if you're not really going to do anything with it besides the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than just to make it look futuristic, I guess.
Like
Because they were like, it's the future of Samurai Cop, and, we just got to make it look interesting.
but they barely did anything with it. I also hate the
Yeah, they didn't
filter they
really.
had for like the whole movie. It just like made everything look kind of like I don't know, like kind of darker or like it gave it more like an afternoon color, but it didn't look good. You know what
Yeah, it didn't do that good of a job, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I barely laughed because once again, it was trying to be funny and it wasn't funny, except for Tommy
It,
Wiseau,
it was
which I
trying
thought was
way
funny.
too hard to be funny.
Like it's like they took all the stuff that made Samurai Cop funny, but they forgot all the charisma, and then just kind of just dumped it
Yeah,
in there.
no charisma. It, like I said, they were just trying to force it more. They were just trying to be like, hey, remember when this was funny in Samurai Cop? So let's just like play on that more, but just again make it super unfunny.
I'm also gonna say this, like almost all the blonde women in the film look the same. Like I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't identify like almost any of them, with the exception of like the one like kind of like partner to Frank, because her cheeks were kind
Mm-hmm.
of sunken in, so that made her like
Okay.
way more easy to identify. But if you like showed me a picture of every single blonde female in this film, I could not tell them apart. I wouldn't be able to tell you who was
Mm.
who.
Yeah, and like like I said before, they definitely did go in a little more on the porn thing because there were some porn stars that were also in the lead in some of those acting roles. So they were like less buddy cop action, more porn action.
What else is there to say about Samurai Cop 2? Electric Doogaloo.
Yeah, it is quite an electric doogaloo.
Oh, I guess I have another random complaint, but like their showing
Ooh.
of like going from one place to another is like really bad. Like there's the
Mm.
scene where Frank is clearly driving in the city and he's just like, I don't know where I'm going. And then it cuts to a shot of like this like desert and it's like 400 miles away.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean you
Yeah.
travel that far? Like maybe that's supposed to be like a joke, but it's like so poorly like explained. It just feels like a continuity error that they didn't think about.
Yeah, were they like, oh, he's close by 400 miles later. Like, he could be anywhere. He could be in the middle of California. He could have just gone to Nevada. He could have gone to Arizona. Like, where was he going
Who knows?
if he wasn't close by?
Do you
It
think
was
we'll
very
get
dumb.
a Samurai Cop 3?
I don't know at this point, and I kind of hope not.
Yeah, I mean, where you go from here, you've already kind of ruined the second movie. Got anything left to add about Samurai Cop 2?
Let's see. I swear I just had something in my head that I was about to say, but I kind of forgot it.
I
Let
guess
me
they
see if I can
did
find it.
lean on the samurai aspect more, I think, than the first one, which isn't really a compliment. I kind of
Mm-hmm.
like they call him Samurai Cop, but I don't think they really did that in the first film, which I think was way more charming.
Well, they mentioned in the first one they would like call him samurai,
Yeah, they
but
call him
that was it.
Samurai, but they wouldn't specifically call him Samurai Cop, and they kind of do it in this movie, which is kind of
Mm-hmm.
annoying. Also, there was that really weird thing where, like, on the TV, he would be like in a show with another woman, and I don't know what that was supposed to mean.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That was weird. Like, was he like a part of a show yeah, that was very
Like, is that
confusing.
supposed to be a joke? Oh, and another complaint is I really hate they kept adding like subtitles below like the person to say show who they
Yeah,
are.
that was annoying because it was like, oh, this is this person and this is that
It was
person.
fine at the
I'm like,
beginning, but
who
they
gives a
kept doing
shit?
it. And that might just be another like the problem is like how do I know is like is this just this something really stupid or was this supposed to be just like a joke? Like I cannot tell because this whole thing is trying to
Yeah,
be
I
intentionally so bad it's good
mhm.
that I can't tell which one is actually genuinely bad and what's them trying to be like funny.
Yeah, I it was very dumb. It was so dumb and confusing. I just had no idea what they were going for tone wise.
They just throw it directly in the trash, baby.
Mm-hmm. No, there was the one thing I did remember now. There was there was like a hologram of the OG Samurai Cop playing near the end. It was on like that one spot after the Joe Samurai training montage, and then he like kills those dudes by one of those elevators, and like on like the side of the walls, you could see a shot of
Oh yeah,
Robert Zadar of the original Samurai Cop
oh
just
yeah,
there,
I
and it was
remember
like,
Jet.
dude, Samurai Cop.
They also do it again when they're like on the lookout for like the gang, and he looks through
Mm-hmm.
the binoculars, and then it's just a scene from the first Samurai Cop of all the yakuza coming out,
Yeah.
and it's just like, boo, you're being lazy, boo, or you're being referential,
Boo.
so but boo anyway,
Boo.
boo, not as great as Bender, boo.
Boo, you stink.
Anyway, yeah, I think I said I've complained about. I gave all my complaints about this movie. How about
Yeah,
you?
I think I've said enough. I think I've said enough.
All right. Well, with that, then it's time for us to pick The better of the two movies. Cole, which film did
Hmm.
you prefer?
I think I gotta give it to Jason Goes to Hell. I think Samurai Cop was just too. It was just forcing. It just forced everything more, and it just did not work with the. Like, if it was what the first Samurai Cop did, or what Neil Breen movies do, where they seem to, not be as intentional with their comedy, and you
They're
just find a lot of more,
genuine.
yeah, genuine laughs out of it, then it's more fun because you're like, this is stupid, but it's actually hilarious. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and also Jason Goes to Hell. It's like I said, it's convoluted, it's stupid, but I think what gives it the edge is the gore and the kills were a lot better.
Yep, I have to agree. I'm also gonna go with Jason Goes to Hell. Uh, Kills, fun, Duke, goofy guy. Yeah, it's definitely, I can see why it's considered the worst one in the franchise,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still trying to be like, in the sense of it trying to be like a horror movie. It has moments where it succeeds. Like I say, the goop guy, pretty good. And it does have that one good scene between Duke and the self insert. Samurai Cop 2 as a comedy falls on its face, and as an attempt of a so bad it's good movie, it also falls flat on its face. And so yeah, clearly I
Mm-hmm.
have to give it to Jason Goes to Hell, even if I probably rated it a little higher than it deserves, since I had a really bad day when I went to see this, and it made me feel better that things were getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a point for me, and that's a point for the retro movie.
Retro.
Retro, yeah, let's go. But with that, we can now move on to questions. Please remember to ask questions, because if you don't, then we can answer your questions, and we know that you want to do that. So we'll start from our first one from Robert. It's a pretty simple question, which is, what is the best slash funniest bad movie you've discovered doing this podcast?
That I've discovered.
Yeah, like you didn't like know of it before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can't just go, oh, Tammy the T Rex, because you knew about Tammy the T Rex already and its reputation. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
what's
I know.
something that you had like no idea about, and then that's like, oh wow, wowie zowie.
Suburban Sasquatch.
Yeah, you love that movie. Yeah, I remember that was your number one for like a hot minute until Lamageddon came around.
Mm-hmm. Which honestly was not that long. And
Uh,
then,
let's do two. We'll do one that you discovered on your own, and then one that someone else recommended. So you have to pick one that you found on your own. For me, from the one that I found on my own, I would say Doctor Alien. I mean, yes, it was a David Duchovny film, but I knew nothing about it when I recommended it, so
okay.
that was a blast. And let's see which one I do. Cole, oh, Blood Rain. Uh, had no interest of watching the Blood Rain
Huh.
movies, and I really liked the first one. So yeah, clearly I'd have to probably give it to that as well.
Okay. And yeah, Suburban Sasquatch. And, I'd also have to say Mad Buddies. I don't know why. It was just kind of, I think we were entertained. It was like at least entertaining enough. And it was interesting to see bad movies from other parts of the world other than just, America.
Yeah, we need to do more of those. We should
Yeah.
recommend some more foreign, awful
Thank you,
foreign films.
Luca, again for that.
Thanks, Luca. But recommend a dinosaur movie on your podcast already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that sufficiently answers that. And
Mm-hmm.
so we'll move on to our next question, Jules, which is, any bad documentaries that you like?
I had to look at this one.
Yeah,
Bad
I don't think
documentaries.
I really watch a lot of documentaries though.
I don't
So
watch too many documentaries, but I don't like hate a lot of documentary. And the ones I hate, I like hate, which is like one or two.
I don't think I've really, I've the at worst, I've seen films that I've given like 5 out of 10s. That's like the lowest score I've given to a documentary,
Mm-hmm.
because I think I talked about how documentaries is the hardest genre for me to get into, because it's like each film's so oddly specific that I feel like I have to like weed out what I'm actually interested in to watch.
Yeah.
So I guess my answer would be no. Unfortunately, sorry, I don't have a good answer to it.
I mean, I'm looking at the documentaries I've seen. I guess I could say Navalny, which I know it won an Oscar for best documentary, but it didn't deserve it.
Oh yeah,
It was just,
that's the
it was
Russia bad
interest.
one, right?
Yes, it was interesting, but it was just so dull with how it did everything. Like they had a good idea with it, message wise and all, but it was just so boring. It was just not a. It just wasn't as fun, even with someone who was a minor in political science at school and learning about the politics of Russia and all that. It was just kind of like, yeah, just uninteresting. And you should watch Fire of Love instead.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of Fire Love, but Fire Love is in fact good, and I would
Mm-hmm.
recommend it. Also, another random documentary I'd recommend. Check out Glow, the story of gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Came out in 2012, but it still was really good, and I'd recommend it.
Hmm. Let me see if I can find one more documentary that I've seen. Oh, this is a very topical one. Waltz with Bashir.
Speaking of war,
Speaking of war bad. Yeah, Waltz with Bashir's good. It's it's very interesting because that's like a animated it's animated too, so you're getting kind of more visually dreamlike aspects of their time during their like Lebanon war in the 80s, which was like okay, interesting. Definitely a cool touch. Oh, I guess I could say one more documentary that I think was enjoyable but not that good was the Stan Lee documentary. It was just like, yeah, it was kind of fun to see this whole like, oh, Stan Lee also how he came up with all these characters, but I'm like, they forgot a lot of stuff about it. He kind of backstab Jack Kirby sometimes, and then they just kind of make it a circle jerk
it's
advertisement for
basically
the
just, oh my
MCU.
god, Stan Lee's so cool, guys. Okay, but what is his life? Oh my god, he made the Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But what about like the like negative things about his life? Oh my god, he literally
Yeah,
can do
it
no
was very
wrong.
biased. It was very biased. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And just because it's on my head again, one more I would
Oh
recommend.
jeez, never ends.
No. This one's actually interesting. It's on HBO, sorry, Max now. It's called BS High, and it was about this high, quote unquote, high school football team from a couple years ago that somehow got themselves to be aired on national television, and they all turned out to be a scam. And the whole story about that is very, once you get into the meat and potatoes, it's super interesting. All right, I'm done.
All right, so final question for Mattias, who are some directors you find hilarious, whether intentionally or not?
Well, I guess that depends. Does that mean they're movies or like what they say in press screenings?
I don't know. It just says who are some directors you find hilarious.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really watch like directors like screenings and stuff or directors like talking. So I can't answer in that way. Movie wise, David Ducato because he's a master like genius
Mm-hmm.
that makes great movies that are entertaining that I can have fun with. I mean, yeah, I know the fucking obvious joke that can come from that from me saying his name, but I don't care. My love for his work will not be soiled by the bare minimum of humor.
Okay. I mean, I think this comes with no shock, but Neil Breen,
Oh yeah, Neil Breen, like naturally,
like pure Breenius.
clearly like an icon. I guess
Mm-hmm.
Uwe Boll is kind of like
Uva,
interesting.
I could see Uva. Yeah, definitely Uva Bowl.
I mean, I did mention him in the opening song. I feel like we have to give him some credit. Richard.
Richard, that bastard.
Yeah, that rat bastard won't release the fart cut.
Yeah, pussy.
I find him hilarious because he really is just the butt of the joke. So we gotta give it to him.
Literally. Mm-hmm. Any other directors that are funny? Oh, M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh yeah, how he's what did twist?
Yeah, it's interesting with him.
What about Michael Bay? Would you consider them kind of funny because he's just like explosion man?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest on his movies, but I kind of respect when he's just kind of like, I don't care what people say. I'm just gonna make these movies because fuck it. And I'm
And
like, that's kind of based.
does he also have a thing where it's like, well, people get paid for their work, people have jobs because of this, so I'm just gonna keep making them.
That is true. Yeah, he's a very based man.
Yeah, pretty cool dude until the allegations will eventually come out that he sucks or something.
Fuck.
I mean, it could happen.
It could.
If it happened to Roman Polanski, it can happen to you. No, too dark. Oh, well, editor, cut that out. Cut that joke out.
Again, you.
Yeah, me. I'm probably not gonna cut it out. I'm my own worst enemy. Any other directors that come to mind?
Um, hmm. Gotta go by like my guilty pleasures list just to see if there's anyone else. Oh God. I
Naturally,
don't
Charles Band, your favorite director of all time.
fuck him.
I know. I got his autobiography that he made. I'm planning to read that once I finish this other book I'm reading.
Hmm.
Maybe he'll explain to us the meeting of Evil Bong 420, then we can finally get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing else really coming to mind.
Well, if there's nothing left, that's all the questions we got. So I guess we'll go to recommendations now then. And this is the part where we recommend the movies. Cole, since I had the retro pick last
Hmm.
time, it is now your turn to recommend the retro pick.
Yep. Yeah, so I was definitely trying to go with, holiday movies. And I was kind of just, looking back and forth. And then I was just kind of like, oh shit, I forgot I have to go, retro. But I think I found a good one for a retro. It's kind of a meme with a certain line in the movie. We're doing Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 from
Oh,
1987.
it's finally happening, baby. Sound like Dylan. I've seen one, and I was trying to get to watch
I was
two with
gonna watch.
friends, but it never happened. So,
Mm, yeah, I was probably gonna watch one anyway, just so I can add more context to the movie.
watch one in preparation for when they show those same scenes in part two.
Mm-hmm.
I actually own the entire series on Blu-ray.
Wow.
One and two got releases from Shout Factory, and then three, four, five got released in a bundle by Vestron releases.
Interesting.
And then there's like the remake that you can just buy normally.
Interesting.
Yeah, but luckily I already own Silent Night, Deadly Night Part Two, so I don't have to buy it. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. Yeah.
Anyway, but time for the modern pick, and this is a film I've seen before. I remember finding it actually like a pretty enjoyable, so bad it's good movie. But it's like been a couple years. I've seen a lot of other movies as bad movies as well, and I'm kind of intrigued to see how well this holds up. So we're gonna do 2008's Johnson Family Christmas Dinner.
Um. Oh, Johnson Family Christmas Dinner, right there.
Yep. This is technically a sequel to another random film, Johnson Family Dinner, but I recommend just watching Johnson Family Christmas Dinner like on its own. Like don't watch the first one before. I think this film is like
Oh.
better if you watch it with no info at all about like the first film. But so, if you don't want to get spoiled for Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 or Johnson Family Christmas Dinner, how about watching those films before the episode comes out, and also subscribe and ask questions and like. Maybe not in that order specifically, but if you can do them all, we'd be very appreciative of it. And you all
Capture
have,
them all like Pokemon.
yeah, exactly. And you all have a good day and happy Morbius.
Happy Morbin time. Happy
Happy Jason goes to hell.
Just the hell. Happy Samurai Cop.
Like Samurai Cop 2. Happy um I can't think of any more like bits. Um
Happy
Happy
Fujiyama.
Thanksgiving because we're recording this on Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving 3.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Bye.